So the new kit, hashtag advertising, is live. And, oh, I love that feedback, Jenny. Yes, the November kit is live. It has an interesting mix I'm quite excited about. So you'll notice it has some autumny type colors, autumnal, autumnish, autumny, autumny, all of these things, autumnal. And so it has more brown than most kits that I put together. But it also has stuff from main character energy. So it has jewel tones and this autumn color scheme, which is not hugely far off from this. There's some papers that are from the same designer at Simple Stories, and there are similar elements involved. But yeah, so how these match up together, those are going to match up together too. And I'm just going to flat out say it. I was devastated that the new 49 and Market wasn't in the store ready for today. So there is, however, a freebie from that collection today. So right now it's at the top of the shopping list, and it is the Art Options Spice Collection. So there's a freebie today that's that collection in 6x6. So order today and get that, definitely. Hashtag advertising. I haven't given my speech. Sorry. Anyway. But it's free at scrapbook.com with your order today. There's 2 other freebies too, by the way. And I wanted the Spice Collection to come in stock, and I wanted the Peach Collection. They've done a Peach Collection! Like, thank you! But it's not in stock today, and then next month will be December. I'm going to have to do Peach January, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I've actually ordered something from the Spice Collection from a UK store because I'm really interested in this how this is called. Has anybody used the 49 and Market Ultimate Page Kits before? No, I'm not even scrapping yet. We're just talking scrap. Okay, so 49 Market have this product called Ultimate Page Kits, and they are what I believe to be Katie Petit's digital scrapbook page designs, but I think you get them as all separate pieces in the kit, and then you build it up. So it's her digital style, but in paper, which is like dreams. Hashtag goals, all of those things. So I've ordered the Spice one because there's several different ones, but that one speaks my language in terms of color and stuff. So I've ordered that, and that won't be a kit video, but I think I'm going to do another video on that because for some reason, this product has existed for a while and it has not been on my radar at all. I looked at different ones on the scrapbook.com website, and there aren't like examples or reviews or anything. And I feel like this could be an epic product that I'm sleeping on. So I've decided to wake up and buy it, and then I'm going to review it honestly, and I'm going to show you what I make with it. But anyway, I bought it from a UK retailer today, but it's not in stock yet at scrapbook.com. I wanted Spice and Peach for November, but I didn't get what I want. Sometimes we don't get what we want. Anyway, so we have that instead. I'm still excited with what's in there. And then if you haven't been following the live chat, oh, I might as well stay here to do my speech. In the live chat, I also mentioned that so my Christmas shopping guide is going to come out later this week. But if you were considering either Paige's album or Vicky's album as your actual physical album for Journal Your Christmas or any other Christmas scrapbooking you might want to do in that size, that format, they're both in stock currently at the moment that I went live at scrapbook.com, but not many. So I wouldn't wait for the shopping list if either of those are on your list. So Vicky's is slightly more expensive, but it includes papers. They both include page protectors in the album. Vicky's is more money and has the papers. And from what I'm seeing in the live chat from people who've seen both in person, Vicky's is a slightly narrower spine. I think it was Ginny was saying that she's put the Page album on her shelf, and it has the widest spine of any of her Christmas albums. And that's the one that I'm I've ordered for myself, and I'm hoping it ticks all my boxes. I really like the page protectors in it. It doesn't come with paper. That's fine, because I'm going to put all my own paper in it anyway. Brilliant. But yeah, there aren't many of those if you're ordering from scrapbook.com, so you might want to just go ahead and get the album now, and then later in the week we can talk supplies for that. People are leery about the peach collection from 49 and Market, worrying that it might be too much orange. Well, you know I will have opinions, so we will discuss when I have it in my hot little hands. Okay, let me give my speech and then get off this camera. Hi, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. Thank you so much for watching my hashtag advertising and shopping through my links either in the live chat or in the description box below the video. All of that helps make this possible, and I really, really appreciate when you shop through those links or you sign up for a class. It's fabulous. I also appreciate you watching. If you're not shopping, that is okay. I would love for you to use what you buy. It's really near and dear to my heart, and I don't want you to feel any guilt about the scrapbooking stuff that you own. I want you to feel like you can use it and get joy from it. So if you don't go shopping and you want to use what you got, I'm here for you too. Okay? I think that covers everything. Let's go. Sarah says, when I have it in my hot little hands is when she'll order it. Fabulous. Okay. So we're going to start. I have a little plan. Where is my little plan? Here it is. Okay. So do I have my photo? No. It's a single photo page, and we're jumping into autumn and Halloween. So the photo I want to scrap is a picture of me and WB at the Halloween parade. I'm going to let my brain do these other things and see if it magically goes, that is where you put the photo, or if I've put it in here and I just can't find it. Okay, so we're going to have just one picture, keeping in mind that a 4x6 photo still takes up a fair amount of space. I always tend to draw it too small. And then we're going to deal with this kind of corner, so that we're making a diagonal, but it's a little different. So instead of having a harsh diagonal line, we're going to tear this. So this is like layers of torn stuff. Yeah. Torn edges. Yeah. And then we're going to follow that diagonal still by putting the embellishment up here and down here. Hey, maybe they've stopped drilling. I just heard them put a lid back on a manhole cover. That would be awesome. Okay, which then means, where am I going to put my title and my journaling? My journaling is going to go here. My title's going to go here. Depending on which papers you pick, you could make this pattern here be a paper that you could write on, like a ledger, and have loads of room up here to write if that's more appropriate to what you've got. Okay? So we're going to have 3 different papers, I think. It could be more, but I'm thinking it's going to be 3. There we go. All right. You can screen grab that if you want. So let's have a look at what we might do. See you later, Sarah. Right. Okay, so I want some pumpkininess. So remember, I've got both autumn and Halloween items here. So the photo is from Mickey's Not So Spooky, so Not So Scary. So I don't want to go like extra creepy. Not that any of these supplies are extra creepy. They're all good. So maybe I go with this one. I was thinking just not spider webs. Walking into spider webs, but that doesn't feel like the vibe for this page. Yeah. Okay, so if I had ghosts up here in this corner. me going, oh, I'm so confused about what I'm going to do with that side. Oh, this side would be so much easier to use. Oh my goodness, Sophia, not Sophia, Sophia, you are absolutely fine. Yes, photos from the 1880s would be well out of copyright and safe to copy for a drawing. You are all good. Okay, so we have these 2 sheets of cardstock, yeah. So what I was kind of thinking was that. Or do I like the cream? Because the ghosts are cream. I do. Okay. So let's take off this branding strip. I didn't bring the other trimmer back up. I made myself clean this trimmer off. So I'm not stealing WB's trimmer. It's downstairs with his homework. Let's see what I can do here and not knock things off the desk. Do I remember how to use the big trimmer? Are we safe? Yeah, we are. We're good. But am I also just going to cut this with scissors? Yes. I've got my spooky mug out today too. Right, so I want 2 sheets, so I don't want to tear this just yet because I want another paper with it. What is the tone on this one? Oh, well, that's happening. I'm not using the cream here. I'm using that background. I had been ignoring this side because this side is really cute, but this side just looks a dream. So that's what we're doing. And then the cream can be the second layer. That's fine. And then because the other side is so cute, I'm going to cheat it a little bit and keep a bit of that for another project. Okay. So what we're going to do is tear like that. Now, I want the white on this side. So I tear toward myself with the other hand. Hello there, diagonal. So we're going to have this. Do I get anything by having this? Not quite, but you know what would make it epic? Black in between there. So I need one more layer, and it needs to be a sheet of black cardstock. And then I'm going to take some of this to save the B side for later. Hello, Leslie. Yeah. Okay, so these can go under here. Let's find some black cardstock. Now to pretend that I tore all of them at the same time. So the way you do that is to press down so that you're tearing away and have a little bit of control as you go. You can kind of follow the line that you've already made rather than just trying to cut or to tear a whole new diagonal, because that would not look the same. But that doesn't look too bad. So there we go. Oh, Sophia's doing Inktober, and she's going to draw Dodge City. As in Dodge City from where I'm from? Because there's Dodge City, Kansas. When we say it's time to get out of Dodge, it really is. a place. Oh, but Elaine did a painting of this sycamore tree. For those of you outside the UK, we're all very sad about a tree. And it's a tree that even you in America may know. It's a very old tree that is just very beautifully grown in this one spot. So it's famous for being in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is why you might know it even if you don't live here. And you have like a valley and this one perfectly formed tree in the middle. So it looks very much like something that was put there for a movie, and it's not. It's been there for hundreds of years. Well, it's not there now because somebody last week in the middle of the night decided to chop it down and leave it there and walk away. I think they've arrested 2 different people now. It's just ridiculous. And so a very strange form of vandalism and something that would have required so much effort. And I think this is what a lot of us are hung up on, is like, it is not the same as somebody who scratches their name in a bus stop. It's not that. It's just, yeah. It's a 300-year-old tree. They had to make a significant effort to do this. Yeah. It's really, really odd and weird and sad. So yeah, there you go. Strange things in the news. But I totally get, especially people who would see this on their walk all the time, or people who have visited Hadrian's Wall and seen it, and they've probably taken photos with it, or just assumed that the next time they would walk by it would be there. Oh, I was saving some of this. So I need a spare piece to put, I'll just use this. Can I just put it back together like that? Yeah. So I'm going to take some of this off. Yeah, I think it's I don't know, just really, really strange. But I don't think I'm too weird here in saying that like trees, full-grown trees having to come down, like even after a storm or something like that, I find really emotional. And I don't think that's me being weird, right? A lot of people find that trees having to come down, that especially trees that we would see regularly or that we know, it's very, very odd. That it's a strange emotional thing, because I mean, it's a plant, but also we do have a real reaction when things like this happen. So I'm going to put this on the back here. There we go. And then I'll just add enough here to hold it in place, and we should be good. Come here. Where were we going? Yeah. I mean, we have, yeah, Leslie says she's definitely emotional about things like trees coming down. Yeah, it's really, I can't quite put my finger on why it is such an emotional thing, but it is. And those of you who have watched here for a long time know that I used to live across the garden from the place I live now. Okay, so we rented in this building for 12 years before we were able to buy one, mostly because they don't ever come up for sale. And my studio window, the one that's now to my left, but in the old property, was right in front of my desk. And for many years, there was a tree outside my window. And I did a project one year where I took a photo in the same place on the same day every month. And the photo was the view from my desk outside the window. And so I saw this tree go through the whole year of seasonal changes. And the next spring, when I was not doing the project, That tree was hit by lightning in one of our big, we don't have many big storms here, but we'll get like one really big windy thunderstorm maybe every 2 years. So that doesn't feel like much to a Kansan, but it does knock down a lot, and there's a lot of damage. And it was a really small strike, so it wasn't particularly obvious at first that the tree was very damaged. But then after the storm, there was some sort of tree expert that the council sent around to look at all the trees around. And he came in and did one little tiny test, and he was like, the inside of this tree is hollow. And so the reason it didn't look like a big strike to us was that the lightning had gone right through the core of the tree, and the outside was not singed. So it looked perfectly fine on the outside, but it was going to fall because there was nothing left holding it up. So it had to be taken down super fast. And all of us in the whole building, we were just in tears. And the guy taking it down obviously is used to this. And he was like, it's all right. Everybody go make a cup of tea. You all come sit in the garden. It's going to be okay. And I felt like the tree surgeon was also a therapist. Amazing. Okay, so we've done this part. Yes? Yes. Now, I'm going to use a photo here that's the same size. I'm just checking to make sure it's not actually there. It's not. This one is also quite orangey, so I'm just going to use it temporarily, but this doesn't match this theme, but it matches the colors, and it's from the same trip, and it's from the same size. So that's where we're going with this, okay? All right. Oh, Elaine, yeah. Elaine was sad when new people in the house behind her parents' house got rid of the Concord tree because it had shaped her childhood. Yes. Also, a lovely thing that can happen when you leave someplace and you happen to go back, or someone sends you a photo back, and trees that were tiny little trees a long time ago are now big trees. Our school gave saplings on Arbor Day, and I planted, I think, 3 little saplings as a child, and they weren't like a baby tree that you'd get at the shop, you know, like they were a sapling. They weren't really expected to all survive. But our neighbors also had school kids at the same school, so they also planted them, and they all grew. And so now they are giant, giant trees. No comments about how old that makes me if a tree that I planted is now a big grown-up tree. No, 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 no. Yeah. But it's kind of cool. But yeah, my next door neighbor friends, we're still occasionally in contact, like, you know, we're on Facebook. And the last time she was out there, she took a photo of our 2 houses and said, look, our trees. I was like, oh my goodness. Because I think they were still only about 4 foot tall when we left home. They're big now. Okay. Where are we going with this? Right. So I know I want some of these, so let's get cutting. So I was going to use this one and this vertical box, because you'll notice I can't write very easily on the background paper that I have where the sketch tells me to write. This is not going to be easy to write on. So I'm going to add in a box. Now this box has birds that don't look particularly Halloween-y. They look a lot like the birds that squawk in my neighborhood, but they don't look like Halloween birds. So we're going to sort that out. Okay. Let's have some black ink. It's okay, Pam. It's all the way over here at Hadrian's Wall, so I'm not sure. It would be everybody's news. Don't worry. Oh, Debbie's saying we should swap out the parakeets from my neighborhood with crows. Did I just hear one in the background? Oh, now they're not going to call on cue, but I'm convinced that I just heard one. Oh, okay, so that one's going to get covered up easily. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to go kind of like this. Oh, do you remember when we used to be able to hear the crows so clearly in every live stream? They got so much closer to the house when everybody was in lockdown. They stay more on the heath now. All right, so we're going to have a tiny black mat around the photo. And that's going to overlap there. So I can go ahead. I'm just going to paper clip these two together. Corey says, she loved that I succumbed to scrapbook pressure and put birds in my collection, but made them birds from my home so that they're always relevant and useful. I don't even think that I do things like that on purpose. It's just a case of, oh, what do you like? Well, I like what I know, and I know what I like. Oh, don't put the clip on that side. That's the side you want to glue, and then it will be difficult to get the clip off. Okay. So, bye-bye, little parakeet. That one's going to come in like this. This is going to give me plenty of journaling room. So we want the embellishment to come up here and down here. I think this one. See how I've got kind of a little corner now? The corner is there. Can you see it in this S? And I don't want that kind of angle. But I can still do this sort of thing and it'll be fine. Okay, so then this is going to stick over here. Sometimes it's okay to just have a notion of these concepts like the corner. Now, I don't particularly love that, so I'll look for another element to put behind there. Don't let your coffee go cold. Do you want to see my first Halloween mug? First Halloween mug out of the box today. Not like out of the box new. I mean, out of my Halloween box of Halloween things. There was a thread online that I read this morning a friend sent to me because she knows it's the first couple days of October. I must be pulling out my Halloween boxes and putting my Halloween things into rotation in my wardrobe, in my kitchen. Of course I was. And the entire article was, or entire discussion was about how people who decorate for the seasons just don't make any sense. And the person complaining about it was imagining that people who decorate for the seasons buy 100% new stuff for every season and put all of it in the bin when they're done. No. You will get me to put this in the bin only when it has fallen out of my hand and smashed on the floor. You will only get this dress away from me. The bottom looks like a traffic cone, by the way. I mean, candy corn. And I got it on Vinted secondhand. So, yeah, that really surprised me. I know there are some people who are like internet influencer types who get all new sponsored stuff for everything. But like normal people who decorate for seasons, it's like your Christmas tree, right? We put the ornaments on the tree, we take them off, we wrap them up, we get them out again next year. Yes, I just do the same for Halloween as I do for Christmas. I don't know what the problem is, but I want to make sure people don't think that I throw all my Halloween stuff away. Yes, there's candy corn and traffic cones on my mug. Yes. I'm glad that we all agree. The idea that somebody would throw all their seasonal decor just away at the end of the season is completely bonkers. That's not what we're doing. I would never pressure anyone into decorating for a season. I just love October. And also the days get really short really fast here. So I love having that little bit of twinkle. Yes, Elaine, what do they do with their Christmas tree? What? Yeah, Pam's like, yeah. I save it all the time, and there might be a few new things each year. Yeah, then if something like extra special catches your eye, it can join the collection. Yeah. I'm glad we all see eye to eye on this. Right, I'm branching into peach now. I've got this peach piece that says, "You are a limited edition." And I'm going to have have this orange and yellow one that says, enjoy this moment. Yes, exactly. Corey, I do wonder if this, because it was a British discussion, I wonder if it falls under the umbrella of people who, because I'm sorry, but I live here, I experience it. There are people who are just like, I don't like the Americanization of fill in the blank. And so they'll be like, oh, having a box of decorations for every season is so American. So what? Also, I am American. So the fact that I only have a box for, well, maybe multiple boxes for Halloween and multiple boxes for Christmas, and one box for Easter/Valentine's. I don't think that's unreasonable if it makes me happy. But I'm definitely not putting it all in the rubbish at the end. They're just way off there. Nope, nope, nope. I love my seasonal elements. WB and I got our matching Halloween jumpers out to make sure that his still fit. It does. It does. Oh, Jen, yes. Jen was raised that Christmas morning cleanup meant collecting and reusing the bows from year to year. Pam has pumpkins and scarecrows in her house right now. Excellent. Interestingly, lots of people on the discussion who were supporting seasonal decorations were crafters of some kind. So I think we all speak the same language here mostly. I mean, let's face it, if you're a minimalist and you watch my channel, I think you're an outlier. I don't think you're the middle of the live chat. I don't know that minimalism is a language we speak on this channel. Yes, Leslie says she changes out decor for the seasons, even when she lives near Orlando and there isn't much seasonal change because she follows the mouse. Oh, yes. So, you know, it's been Halloween for Leslie since the 12th of August. Right. I'm going to have one moment here to see if this is where I dropped the photo. Because it would be nice to have it back. I don't see it though. Oh, crumbs. I stepped on something. Stepped on a spiral notebook. No, it did not feel nice. But you know, it was on my favorite shelf, so it's okay. No, it's not there. Oh, oh, oh! I found it. It got stuck to a sticker sheet. And so I think it went on a journey with the sticker sheet. Fabulous. I feel rejuvenated. Where are you? There's more than one photo here. But I just want this one. Yes! This one. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. She's back on track. So I love this photo for a very silly reason. And if this happens to you, I give you entirely all the validation that it's okay to love it because it really made me smile. For some reason, so this photo is from last October. I don't know what special magic this PhotoPass photographer had. But how did she make me look like a teenager again? I love it. I'm just embracing it. So there we go. That's why it's getting a page all to itself. Oh, yes. Okay, so enjoy this moment indeed. Enjoy the moment that you pull up the PhotoPass pictures from the Halloween party on the Disney app and you're like, wait a minute, who is this young person standing with my child? Okay, so I want some things to go here and here. Let's have a look at stickers and things that we've got. We've got a variety of enamel things here, and we've got these stickers. Okay. So if I got pumpkins on here, pumpkins. I've got 1 and 2 here. I've got some little happy jack-o'-lanterns here, but they're really tiny. Where's my cut apart here? I have many cut aparts, but I was after this set here. Sophia is giving America the benefit of the doubt. She says, I wonder if changing with the seasons is a U.S. thing where it never was here because autumn is so spectacular in many American states and spring is such a welcome change after a harsh winter. That is a lovely mindset. And I love how you're just not in any way going, also it might be capitalism. I think it might be a combination of both. Sophia says our seasonal changes here are middle of the road and that it's just wet and gray no matter the month. We do get really, I feel like we notice the good days more than I noticed the good days of weather where I grew up. Now, we have extreme weather in Kansas, so trust me, I was grateful for days without tornadoes. But also, we had enough sunny days that I was never like, yay, it's a beautiful day. And here, when the day is just right, people don't shut up about it. We talk about the weather so much, and it's all ages. So Saturday was such a glorious day. It's cold enough now that you might want a hoodie or a cardigan or something. But not so hot or not so cold that you need a parka or anything of that sort of nature. There was no rain cloud to be seen in the sky. And, oh, this isn't going to work the way I thought. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. And it was just beautifully blue, just a little bit of a breeze, lovely crisp temperature, and the trees are just starting to go. My 9-year-old gets out of bed and looks out the window. Oh, what a beautiful day. I look out the window. Oh, what a beautiful day. I take him to see his voice coach, and his voice coach opens the door and says, isn't it a beautiful day? So you've got like 3 generations in age right there. And all we have to say is, oh, what a beautiful day. And we're not even rehearsing Oklahoma. So there we go. I don't feel like I did that much in the environment of Kansas. I was just, grateful if we had it. The thing I was most grateful about in the weather, having a tornado warning at school is infinitely more annoying, and I would think scary for if you're either nervous about the storm yourself or a parent knowing that your child is out of school. And most of the tornado warnings we would get when I was a kid would come at night, so you'd be home. But sometimes they would come during the day, and I have spent a whole school day in the bottom floor of my middle school. My high school and my elementary school did not have basement. Very, very rare for structures in Kansas to not have basements. But my high school and middle school my high school and elementary school did not. So if you're wondering what's going on here, so I want to bring this brick red in. This is not a caption I'm going to use here because we don't say fall. And sometimes I say y'all, but normally I'm just making fun of the fact that I'm American. Shocking fact for those of you who don't know. Kansans don't really go full y'all. I say y'all way more that I now ingest that I'm an American more than I ever did living in Kansas. Kansas is not the South. Anybody who says y'all who lives in Kansas has probably either lived in the South themselves or been brought up by a Southerner. It's not really, it's not Kansas Midwestern speak, of which there is something. Now, I'm just going to squeeze right past you now. And ope, definitely. We say that a lot, both of those. And I do find it really funny now that I notice myself saying, I'm just going to squeeze right past you. And I never noticed it when I lived there. So how many times did I say it when it was a natural thing to say versus here? I don't know. Corey says, tornado warnings and tornado drills at school made me blasé about tornadoes and storms. Maybe because we spent so much time bored with our heads tucked between our knees and our hands on our knees. Yeah, our hands on our heads. Yeah. So you sit like cross-legged and pull your head down in your lap and put your hands over your head. The bit that's really like evidence that I grew up at the end of the Cold War. It's the same drill for nuclear fallout. The difference being, it might help you in a tornado. It's not going to help you in nuclear fallout. But we did it. We did it. Who knows? I think it was just to kind of make people feel they were doing something. Yeah. Something I owned in Kansas that I have never owned in England. A weather radio. Now, talk to me about what the digital age has done to weather radios, because I know some of you in the States will know what they are. I'm guessing no one in the British crowd has had one unless they have, unless you have a real special, oh, that's not the corner I want this in, a special interest in the weather. So weather radio is a device that would automatically kick in when there was a natural, or when there was a weather warning. So now I know here on the rare occasion that we get some sort of warning, it'll come across in my weather app on my phone, but it won't like notify me. This had a full-on alarm. It was louder than all the alarm clocks in my house. And it would kick on if there was a tornado watch or warning. Do you want to know the difference? A tornado watch means that the environment, the atmosphere, the conditions are right for a tornado to start. But a tornado warning means that tornadoes have been sighted. There you go. They might not have touched down. They might be like cylinders up in the clouds. But that's the difference between a watch and a warning. But yeah, so what happens, those of you who live somewhere with extreme weather, in the digital age? Because this was not, I mean, there was some sort of tech behind it that it set off an alarm, and then there was this voice reading out the thing, and it would just stay on once it went on. So if there'd been some sort of weather issue during the day when I got home from school, then it would still be going, and I'd have to go turn it off because it's like super loud. But obviously I didn't have neighbors who had shared walls like I do now. So nobody was hearing it outside the house. It's fine. Okay, I want a contrasting color here. Oh, I was going to go turquoise, but I've got the purple and I've got the green. Here, let's see what I can find. I could go with, oh, it's not really the same green at all. Yes, it's not like the shipping forecast. The shipping forecast is quite calm and regular. So a weather radio is just emergency alarms. There we go. Ginny has one. Our weather radio alarm, our weather radio is set to only alarm for tornado warnings. I didn't want to have an alarm going off in the middle of the night for any other weather issues. It's a shrill alarm for sure. Yeah. Lee says our phones have an alarm. However, I still have a solar battery operated weather radio in Savannah because she's in hurricane zone. Yeah. Debbie agrees that civil defense drills of the Cold War seem very ridiculous now. Yes, Pam says they still have a weekly siren test. Our weather radio had a test that would go one day every week, and I would be like, oh, it's so loud. We open the door, it's not a peaceful house. It's a weather radio shouting at you. But yeah, I've never had a need to have such a thing here. Oh, Sophia, now we're talking about different versions of the plural of you in the comments and their regional variations. So you guys, y'all is Southern. You guys, And then there's use guys. Oh my goodness. So we did not say use guys where I grew up. And the first time I heard that was actually in England, because there are patches that pluralize you by saying use. And it was in a school that I was teaching in, and people would start to write it phonetically because the generation that I was teaching, things go in patterns. And the first batch of kids that I was teaching had never had spelling lists in primary school because they were out of fashion at the time. And it was like, well, no, we're just going to teach phonics and then we're going to let them sound everything out. And I'm sitting there trying to read this kid's piece of work, and he keeps writing the word use, U-S-E, guys, use guys, use guys. And I'm like, what is a use guy? And I took this book to another teacher, and I'm like, what is a use guy? Is this one of those things that this is something that you call people here that I've never heard? And she just started cracking up. She's like, it's use guys, like plural you. And I'm like, no, it is not. It was. So we had a lesson about that. Okay, what can I bring in? Focus, Shimelle, focus. I've got purple, and I got about 15 minutes. We can do it. So I'm going to bring in the 2 purple cut aparts from this page. Scrappy guys coming in to say, yep, still plenty of used guys in New England. Yep, Jersey, definitely. I think I've heard quite a lot of it in Boston as well. That's not cut well at all. Yep. Okay. Now, this is going to sit like that, so I'm going to bring this little bit to bring to the other side. So this frames that. And then this one. I'm just going to take the purple label here. Okay, so I'm going to do this here. Just a tiny bit. We're going to use this where that bird is with something else. Yep, those 2 can go there. Bye-bye, birdie. That was terrible, Shimelle. You're a horrible, horrible comedian. Okay. And then, oh, we can bring the green in here. So we can do trick or treat. No, that's not the right place. That's better. So green in both those spots. Let's have a pumpkin. I can do 3 pumpkins. think I'm about ready to go ahead and put that down. I did remember to order foam strips today. Whoop, whoop. Keep forgetting, but I got them today. A little triangle there. Thank you, Debbie. Oh yeah, you can totally use this sketch for, it doesn't need to be Halloween to use it. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. I've got orange here. Now, can I read these on here? I'm hoping so. So see here, I can have this title, Good Times, or The Good Times. You could have either. But times is not in a color that I particularly want to use here. So I'm going to use the good, and I'm going to spell out times with other letter stickers. And then I'll have times to use in turquoise another day, and that's fine too. Okay. Don't go too fast taking these off. Remember, the glitter can separate if you bend them too much, and we don't want that because this glitter is cut so that it's not just glued on. The glitter is like a sheet in itself. So that means the glitter will stay on great. Yay. But we don't want to separate it from the foam just by taking it off the sheet. So take your time. It'll be worth it. So we got title down there. We're going to put some dots on here. Now, I've got purple dots in the foam as well. So I'm going to put a few of those in. So I've got one of each of those. And then you could use either pack here. Use the orange. Oh, whoops. 3. And one of these. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted the orange or the yellow, but let's go. Oh, no, I don't. It looked fine on its own. The yellow is the better call. Or I could go green. Let's go green. Okay. I'm not sure about that pumpkin there. Where can you go, though? Here with the title, maybe. I don't like that lining up there. No. Look, this may move by the next time you see this layout. Not yet. You'll know that it's out because 1, you'll get a message, and 2, it will double in price. So the Punches class, it won't be long now, but it's half price when you buy it in advance, and then once it's live, it doubles in price. Cool. I think that's everything for today. So keep in mind, 1, you don't have to do this Halloween. If you're not a Halloween scrapper, that's absolutely fine. You are totally welcome here in October, even if you don't scrapbook Halloween, and I want to make sure that's really clear. Just because I love Halloween does not mean that it has to be your thing, and I totally understand that it's not everybody's thing. Cool? if I make any sort of joke about being a Halloween person, it is 100% never at the detriment of like, because you're not a Halloween person. That's not my vibe, not my jam. I basically said not my jibe because I was trying to put those two words together. But there we go. It's not my vibe or my jam. Yeah. So things that will happen with this. The journaling's going to come on here. I think I'm going to do both black and gold mist along this diagonal. But you could do the same sketch with just not ghosts and not pumpkins. Yeah? These little puffies and this paper are the things that are specifically Halloween. And so you just take something else and put it here. If you want to stay in the autumn color range, then you put leaves here or acorns here. Yeah? Or pumpkins that are just seasonal pumpkins and not jack-o'-lanterns. Yeah? You can swap the color scheme out entirely. Okay? Keep in mind that you can always do that. You get a landscape photo? Let's have a look. You could go that way. Or you could go this way. I think I like that way best. But just keep in mind that you're going to need a journaling card that lets you write in the same direction that you need to write. Cool. All right. So that is everything. If you enjoyed this and you want to give it a thumbs up, that'd be super duper awesome. 35 of you have already, and you're super duper excellent. Here's a special heart for all of you. And thank you for indulging me in discussion of weather radios and y'all. And trees. May you have a wonderful week. I'll be live again on Friday, and there'll be Christmas supply info coming out in the middle of the week, but it won't be something that you've like super duper got to catch it the second it comes out, so we can talk about it in Friday's live stream. That's fine. Cool. Thanks. Have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.